Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome to my spiritual oasis. Here, weary souls come to find inner wisdom and peace. We are here today to do our 2021 predictions. I'm so excited to be channeling messages for you for 2021. What the heck is going on here? Okay, so we have a little bit of a setup here. So there are going to be 3 groups for you to choose from to select the guiding energy and the culminating energy for each of the groups. We are going to be spinning our wheel here. Wherever our eyeball lands on, that's going to be your guiding energy. And wherever the closed eye lands on, that is going to be the culminating energy for that group. We're going to be doing charm interpretations. Lots of charms for the readings today to really get an in-depth reading. Obviously, these are general readings, but I feel like the charms can call out a lot more personal information. In addition to the charms and our Tao oracles, I also have some tarot cards. So we're going to be pulling a lot of different energy casting charms to see, as well as every month of the year for 2021 will be represented as well in our charm casting, so we can get an idea of when some of the stuff might be taking place throughout the year. And we will also be having our focus glasses as well, so we'll be looking at what is in focus for the year. What do we see? And then what are some unseen things? What is the unseen? What are some things that aren't on our radar potentially, but are going to be having an impact on our lives for 2021? So a lot of information to get into today. I am so excited. Before I spin for each of the groups, I'm going to go ahead, make a couple of announcements. So if you're not already a part of the Kindred family here on YouTube, please do subscribe. Would love to have you on board in 2021. Connect with me on Instagram and TikTok, and check out my Etsy shop for personal readings and other spiritual content that I curate there for you guys on your spiritual journey. So with all of the announcements out of the way, let's go ahead and get to spinning. All right, group number 1. All right, I'm seeing here for a guiding, here for a culminating, group 2. Let's see where we're gonna land here. This is a better spinning position. It's kind of in the middle, but I'm kind of seeing here and here. So. Group 2. All right, and group number 3. Let's give it a good one. I'm seeing here and here. I'm not sure I got that right. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to line up the groups. So if you need a moment to meditate, you certainly can. There will be timestamps in the description. Okay. All right, so if you need to pause the video at this point in time to determine which group or groups has your message, so group 1, group 2, and group 3. Again, if you're feeling drawn to more than one group, there might be some charms or some messages in that group for you as well. So feel free to watch whichever group or groups you believe has your message in it. All right, I'm being weird. Pause the video if you need a moment to meditate, contemplate. So we have group 1. I don't know if I said this. Group 2 and group 3. All right. So thank you, beautiful soul, for spinning with me, and I will see you in your respective reading. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your 2021 predictions video. So we've got a couple of things set up here. including the guiding energy for our conversation today. So we're going to go ahead and start off by flipping over our guiding energy that we just spun out. Guiding energy for 2021 is contemplation. This feels like hermit energy. Okay. Gaining an overview, being a detached observations, increased understanding, solitude, integration through reflection. So hermit energy, contemplation, that is your focus for 2021. I'm going to go ahead and just set your card down here. We'll look at it later. And our culminating energy we will flip over at the end of the reading here, after we do our tarot. But we are going to... Actually, I jumped the gun a little bit on this. I want to cast our charms. So our cards are just going to be down here. But we're going to cast our charms first. So as you can see in our circle, we have every month of the year represented here. And we have our focus energy up at the top. So we're going to go ahead, cast our charms here. It might be a little noisy, okay? Popped out of the circle. It was not trying to be a part of the conversation. All right, so we cast our charms. Let's get them lifted up so you can see them better. Okay. So just doing a quick spin to see what was. We have a lot in the focus. Okay. Ooh, shaking the table. All right. Ooh, a lot's happening. Summer, fall. Okay. Okay. All right, so contemplation, again, is our guiding energy. So let's hold that into our heart space as we go here. Let's start with our focus. Let me pull this a little bit closer. All right, so we have 7 of Cups. We have the birdhouse. We have the headphones. We have Libra energy. Okay, so balance is going to be very important. It's also charming is a key word associated with Libra. Balance, balance, balance. It's going to be a huge focus for 2021. Libra could also be talking about you. So you could have strong Libra placements in your birth charts, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or the focus of one of your houses in your birth chart could be your Libra house. Whatever house that Libra is a ruler of in your birth chart could be a focus for you for 2021. So check that. Seven of Cups. Decisions, decisions, decisions. So to me, the Seven of Cups being a focus is saying that decisions, first of all, it feels like there's going to be a number of decisions that you're encountering. And also that there could be some difficulty making decisions, especially with the Libra, right? Where our Libras can be a bit indecisive because they're constantly weighing things out, churning around in their headspace on what they should do, what they shouldn't do. They always can see both sides of the situation. So it does make it a bit challenging for them to make decisions. And I feel like our guiding energy, so our contemplation, is going to be critical in being able to make the decisions that we need to make. So our birdhouse talks about the home. So it could be physical home. It could be like your spiritual home or your heart space home. It could also be talking about your fourth house, which is your health, your house of home. It could also be talking about, the fourth house is traditionally ruled by Cancer. So pay attention to where Cancer lands in your birth chart. The headphones to me is talking about, the house can also represent comfort. It can represent messages about your house or your home. It could be some decisions that you're making about your house or your home. Weighing some things out about your house and your home situation. Could be a housing situation too. So lots of messages here. And we got the bird up there. So it could be talking about messages coming to your house. Could be talking about letters or something like that. So a lot of different potential meanings for the house, but could become more clear as we go through some of the other charms and information. It could also be talking about your house is your place of contemplation. It's your safe place. It's where you can retreat to when you need to restore and re-energize yourself. The headphones to me talks about tuning out the rest of the world and focusing on focusing on inside. Sometimes we hear so many voices, and that's what gets us flopping back and forth and struggling to come to conclusions and make decisions, because we have so many voices in our head, so many things that we're processing through and incorporating into the decision. And I feel like the headphones are saying, in order to make these decisions, in order to stop waffling back and forth and to be true to yourself and to be balanced and harmonious, you're going to have to tune out the rest of the world and look to yourself on the inside to make the decisions for you. Okay? And then in our unseen, we have the Capricorn energy. So there's going to be a lot of hard work that's behind the scenes here for 2021 that you're going to be working through. To me, it's also showing a focus on the worldly route. So it could be talking about career. It could be talking about just putting in a lot of work and effort into your life in general to get it to where you want it to go. Our Capricorns are sure-footed. They're not afraid of hard work. They're not afraid of tumultuous situations. They kind of just navigate things like a boss, especially difficulty and challenge. So knowing that you have that Capricorn backbone and that grounded, solid energy is important. And also to note that our Capricorn energy talks about in the unseen, I feel like it could also say that your hard work and efforts are going to go unseen. They're going to be hidden behind the scenes. And also with that earth energy, slow. So things are going to be paced in 2021, going, there's going to be a steadiness to what happens in 2021. So I feel like there's a message here be patient. I want to flip it over and see what they got. Be patient, ambitious. Yeah, ambitious is the guiding word for Capricorn. But be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. If you're starting something new in 2021, be patient. I know in the society of overnight millionaires that sometimes we feel like, hey, we're not exactly where we want to be at the age of 20, so we're doing something wrong. That's ridiculous, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. It takes time and anything to get to where you want to go. And a lot of times, especially on the internet, we don't see the behind the scenes. We don't see the whole process. So don't be stressed out or concerned when things take time, because things are going to take time. All right. Okay, so we have Fool energy. And it's not on a month per se. So freedom and Fool energy, the freedom is touching October a little bit, but it's also very much so in like what I would call the secondary focus of the year, right? So we have our focus, but it landed outside of that, didn't land on a month particular, so it feels like an overall energy. So there's going to be a focus on, or a sub-focus on, freedom, and our Fool energy, which is represented by the Joker right here, talks about freedom as well. You know, it talks about freedom. It talks about that, you know, the Fool is the number 0 in tarot, which talks about infinite possibilities, complete freedom and infinite possibilities. So that's going to be kind of an overall energy as well, which I feel like could be some of the cause of some of our flippity-floppity confusion and difficulty making decisions, because there's just so many decisions out there to be made. I'm just going to spin it around, make sure we don't have any other energy in our center. Okay. Something else that I wanted to say about that Libra energy as well. Oh, communication. Communication is a focus, and I feel like that could definitely be connected to, you know, sometimes we don't need to hear stuff. So tuning out some of that communication as well is important, but being able to communicate effectively is also going to be important in 2021. Okay, so those are our guiding energies right away. Let's scoot this back. Okay. And then we're going to start in January. So, January. We've got some action in January, so... Ooh, all right. So we have the Ace of Swords right off the bat there in January. We have another symbol of a house. And we have the Starfish energy. So, the Ace of Swords, a new idea, an untethered idea. Could be an idea related or connected to house or home. Maybe you're rethinking your house or your home where you live. It's kind of getting that vibe with the focus being on house or home. Or it could be repurposing your home, or redesigning your home, or redecorating your home, or having a different idea of how you use your home. I feel like with the Starfish energy, Starfish talk about regeneration and restoration and healing. So it could be the idea of like you getting an idea on how to turn your house into a place of healing and restoration for yourself. So, you know, depending on your situation, that can mean a lot of different things. But the focus for the beginning of the year is going to be on your house and your home and healing in general. So maybe you're healing your house, healing the energies in your house or your home, something like that. So let's get a little bit deeper into our reading. So we have some stuff happening in March and April. So we have Loud, which to me talks about a couple of different things. So we already said that communication and vocalizing is going to be prevalent and a strong theme in 2021 for you. We also have sacrifice here as well with the cross, with the rose cross. So let's flip this over. And that was straddling March and April. So I'm getting the message here that things might be a little loud in March, and we're making some sacrifices in the transition between March and April in order to maybe quiet the noises, because we did talk about maybe having too much stimulation, too much communication, which is paralyzing us in some ways and making decisions that we need to make. But some kind of a sacrifice here in April. Things are getting loud, some sacrifices, and with contemplation as our guiding energy, I'm getting. We'll just keep going, and I'll share that as we go. Okay. So May and June might be a little bit quiet, but I feel like these are potentially the months of contemplation here because they are the quietest. but I feel like maybe even the first half of the year, it's quieter, general on the first half of the year. So maybe we are doing some of that contemplation, getting away from the daily grind and detaching ourselves a little bit to gain clarity and understanding. Okay, so midsummer into the fall and winter months, it's getting a little bit thick here. So in July, we have our snowflake, which talks about being unique or unique circumstances, embracing your uniqueness. It feels like Aquarius energy, Uranus energy, that just really talks about being unique and embracing your unique energy or unique circumstances as it pertains. So we do have sing next to it. So it could be like maybe you have a creative way of expressing yourself with your voice. So whether that is with singing or something else. But in July and August, we're embracing, it could be talking about literally singing, like embracing your unique voice, your unique sound, maybe even coming up with like original music. Our snowflake also talks about like originality, being original. It also talks about preservation as well. So a lot of different conversations, but I'm feeling like it's like unique, and it's talking about being unique and embracing your unique sound, your unique voice. Could be literally talking about singing, but it could also be talking about just like your truth through vocalization and communication. So communicating your needs, communicating your desires, something along those lines. So we have the star, we have this flower, and we have our purse in August. So August kind of coming into September with the purse, but no, there's another chime that I'm not seeing here. The couch. Okay, so comfort with the couch. The star talks about hope. The flower talks about beauty, blossoming. So like something coming into its full beauty. That could be talking about the voice again. So maybe in July we're kind of starting to reach into our uniqueness, like after we spent our time over the summer and in the spring doing some contemplation, some deep dives, some self-reflection. We're coming into our own unique voice here and getting comfortable with who we are, what we sound like, what our message is. And that star is just like similar to the star in tarot, where it talks about like hope in the darkness, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Talks about, a way out as well, leading you to freedom, a way out, that sort of thing, and finding the beauty in all of this. Something is blossoming or coming to fruition here in August into September. And then our purse, it could literally be talking about like financial benefit, but my bag, money and financial gain. But I feel like the purse could also be talking about valuables and protecting your valuables or carrying your valuables with you, and paying attention to like what you take with you, whether it be physical things, but also like what are you taking with you spiritually? What are you taking with you as far as like what you say to yourself? What do you take with you as far as like what the people around you are communicating with you? So it talks about like valuables, what you keep safe and what you take with you as you're out and about in the world. So we have more star symbology in September, as well as the baby bottle. So the baby bottle could be talking about a baby, but it also talks about like newness, new hope, new faith. It could also be talking about, next to the star here, the blossoming of a new idea, almost like shedding some light on something that provides you with a new perspective or new point of view, especially with that Ace of Swords energy starting out the year. That's kind of how I'm feeling with the baby bottle. But it just talks about new life, new point of view, new perspective, and next to the star, it's like a new hope almost, or a new direction, especially near. So we have the freedom and we have the Fool energy near. Like, yeah, it's not quite in September, but it is near here. So this could be around the area where we're needing to make some decisions. Like we said, we're going to be making some decisions and potentially having some challenges making some decisions, because they're going to be so there's going to be so many of them with this freedom thing and this Fool energy. So I do feel like the contemplation and that we've been doing in the summer and the spring, and if we're not doing that in the summer and the spring, it's going to have to happen as we get to this point, because of that that contemplation, that gaining an overview, a perspective, increasing your understanding of your situation, is actually going to put you in a really solid position to make these decisions without being too confused and flippity-floppiting and all of that kind of stuff. So making sure that in the spring and the summer, you're doing that work to figure out really what, to me, the purpose of this is to get in alignment with your destiny. That's the whole point of this whole journey here on this contemplation energy, is for you to get in touch with and connect to your purpose, so that when it comes to making decisions, you're able to tune out the world. Oh, you can't see me pointing to this. You're able to tune out the world here and make your decision from the inside out, because you spent time with yourself and you know what direction you need to head in. Okay. So September to October, we have the Rose, and we have the ship wheel with the anchor in the middle. So the ship wheel with the anchor in the middle is telling me that something's holding you down. Like you're trying to steer your ship, but you're being held down. You're paralyzed a bit, and I feel like that's what these decisions. I'm really feeling like this is the zone here where we're making this August to November is kind of the zone where we're making these decisions, or we're needing to make decisions, or we're faced with decisions that we're maybe being a little bit confused about, especially if we didn't do our work in the spring and the summer. But I feel like even if we did, and you have strong placements in Libra, it still could be a little bit challenging for you to make some decisions around this time. So I feel like, this anchor in the wheel is talking about getting down to what's holding you back from making your decisions and steering your ship. So this could be an encouragement to do shadow work, to do root work, to do any kind of other sort of digging down into what could be holding you back, and even like stunting some of your decision making. And we have the Rose here. So the Rose could talk about love, so that could be what's holding you back, or maybe your failure to make some decisions is keeping you from love. But the Rose could also be talking about beauty, and it could also be because the roses protect themselves with their thorns. So it could be talking about protection, protecting your beauty, not your beauty as in like your physical beauty, but like protecting the things that are valuable to you. Kind of going back to that purse energy. And that's in October. This could also be a decision, like you could also be making a decision between some sort of a love and maybe your freedom, or what you perceive as your freedom, and or some sort of adventure or sojourn that you want to go on, or maybe that's pulling you. Okay, and then in November we have our lock. So I kind of feel like, and again, this is the energy that we're currently channeling. And now that you have this information going into the next year, you can change the things that aren't vibing with you or that you don't like. We have more anchor energy here. So this anchor is telling me that there's some things on the inside that are holding you back. And I'm feeling like if we can't come to solid conclusions, the next step here is the locking of, okay, so there's a couple messages. So it could be a locking of your heart, keeping you out or keeping others out, a way of protection. I feel like the lock could also be talking about you being presented with the door. With all of this previous energy about making decisions, there could be a door, potentially something you don't feel like you can get into because there's no key in our spread anywhere. So there could be something that rolls up on you in November that kind of makes you feel like you can't get to where you want to go. You can't get into that door. And then we have, again, more anchor wheel. So this feels like maybe more outside energy, and it could be coming from this King of Swords. Or maybe it's the inability to, because the King of Swords could be a person, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in an air sign, potentially. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Not necessarily. I'm feeling it more as an energy. Our King of Swords talks about like clarity, decision making, truth, justice, like that sort of energy. And that could be what's kind of holding you back, like that decision making and that truth. And so I'm feeling like what was I talking about? If this contemplation, going inward, taking that sojourn inside of yourself to figure out what your destiny is, what direction you're going with your life, if that does not happen, I'm seeing kind of a stalemate here. Or you're at a stale, you're locked up at the end of the year. And the only way to get out of that is that King of Swords energy. Our King of Swords energy talks about, again, that truth, being truthful, being able to plant the seed or the vision of truth, having a clear vision of your life as far as what is true to you, what is real to you, and making clear, it's like having a clear mind and making sound decisions that are moving you into the direction that you want to go without like being conflicted. And I feel like with the 7 of Cups present here, with the confusion and struggle of making decisions with the Libra energy and stuff like that, I feel like the only way to truly be able to come to your own truth and your own conclusions and to be able to make decisions that aren't really emotional. Like our sword energy is not emotional. It's about the mind space. It's about logic. It's about reason. And there could be some over emotional energy present and an overwhelming of emotion. And I feel like the only way to like kind of free yourself or release your ship from the anchor is to tap into that less emotional, more logical, more reasonable type of energy. And this is going to be flowing into 2022. So our king is barely touching January, but it's mostly in December, which tells me that this is going to be the energy kind of moving into January. So what I'm getting here, so if you're not liking some of these messages, or if you want to be able to change some of the things, I'm really feeling like the contemplation is the solution. Figuring out where this ship is headed first, and then doing the work to make sure that you don't have any anchors holding you back inside or outside, that you're using balanced energy. So we have the King of Swords energy here, which talks about a mature mental space that is clear of clutter. We starting the year off with some just mental energy, mind space energy, communication, some ideas, some messages, So we're starting the year with sword energy, with air energy, and we're ending the year with the mature version of that. So I feel like if contemplation goes well, as if we, sort the things out that we need to in our mind space and in our heart space, and we're getting everything in alignment over the year, it's actually going to turn out solid. And we're going to come out being a master over our thoughts and being able to make those sound fair and final sorts of decisions. So if you find it difficult for yourself in general to make decisions and to make, that Libra energy, kind of find yourself being confused or flippity-floppeting between different decisions, and you're kind of maybe swayed in different directions as, you hear the voices and people talking to you, and you're constantly having difficulty making those sound decisions. I feel like that is your overall lesson for 2021 is knowing that that Libra, there's nothing bad about the Libra energy. Anything in excess is a problem. So there's nothing bad about the Libra energy. Being able to see both sides of the same coin is actually one of the King of Swords master talents. Like, that is a gift, but it can also be a curse. And I feel like that, if not matured, if not worked on, if not nurtured, it can be an issue and a challenge for you. So the King of Swords energy is saying over this year, our focus is going to be decision making and getting ourselves into a pattern or routine of being able to collect all of the information, because it's good to have this. That is how our King of Swords makes good decisions. He has good information. He has a lot of information. But the difference between our King of Swords and, say, like a page or a knight, is that our king is able to patiently take the time necessary to process through the information. And it's an air sign, it's air energy, so it's happening quickly. It's not something that's happening really, really slowly. But with the Capricorn energy in the unseen, I do feel like this process of developing yourself up to that King of Swords energy is going to take some time. It is, to me, is suggesting that this whole year, if you focus on it, is going to take you this whole year to, and potentially even into the next year, to get yourself to this place where you're able to gather the information, process through the information. And again, this is all happening at air speed, so it's not a really slow thing. And then being able to make a judgment call from the information obtained, being able to tune out all of the outside influences. After you've collected that information, you're able to tune out all of the outside influences, process the information in your head, and make a really sound, solid decision for yourself. Or the matter in that case, whatever it might be. So that is what our focus is. That is what we are working on, working towards. And I feel like there are a lot of steps and stages and failures and difficulties and struggles and challenges that you're going to face over the year, which is completely normal and natural, as you develop that King of Swords energy. So there is, again, that focus on communication, that focus on being able to communicate your decisions in a way that makes that people understand that they are sure and they are final. Again, that authoritative, divine masculine, authoritative, sure sort of energy. Like, there's no question about the decision. Whereas in the past, I'm getting the message, like, there wasn't that command over your decisions, and therefore you were kind of flippity-floppeting or, changing things up a little bit with it. So, all right. So we got deep into our charms. Charms can also speak to each individual as well. So let me know in the comment section what you're getting out of the charms. What messages are hitting home for you, or did you get any sort of like individual or specific messages for yourself in the charms? Let me know. Okay, we're shuffling out some tarot. See what our tarot messages are today. Shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Okay. 5 of Swords. Five of Swords. Knight of Wands. Ooh, 4 of Cups. All right. It doesn't surprise me to see the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Swords, because there's a lot of change encouraged to happen in your mental space over this year. So yeah, there's going to be some conflicts. This is internal conflicts I'm getting mostly. It could be with outside, people in your circle as you're going through these changes and setting strong boundaries, right? As you start to tune people out in order to be able to hear your own voice and know what you're thinking and know what you're feeling and know what you want. There might be some conflict there, but I'm feeling it's more internal conflict there. I'm not surprised to see that at all. The 4 of Cups, I'm not surprised to see either. Because to me, the 4 of Cups feels like you're pouting, It could be talking about boredom. I feel like it also talks about, like, you're pouting a little bit, right? This whole thing is a process. It's going to take time. It's going to, like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be some successes, some failures, some sacrifices, some things that don't work out right, some things that you're going to have to pull back to the start again and reevaluate how you approach things. Like, this is a process, and it's an iterative process, which means it's not linear. It's not just ABC 1, 2, 3. It's 7, 2, 3, 5, whatever. It's random in many ways. It feels random, but it's not random. It's more like I like to think of it like this: like we're going in a circle, but we don't go all the way back to the beginning. It kind of loops around itself, but you are taking some steps back to take some steps forward. So there can be a feeling of defeat, maybe some pouting, or maybe you're feeling a little bit like this isn't working for me, or maybe getting frustrated with the process. So that's what I'm seeing with the 4 of Cups, which also doesn't surprise me either, because this is going to be a challenging situation, a difficult process to work through. So don't be discouraged or disheartened. I feel like our Knight of Wands is bringing a lot of energy to the conversation as well. I feel like the message here, our knights are messengers, and the message that our Knight of Wands is bringing is to keep your excitement and your energy, your passion. So keep that passion, that creativity. There's a spiritual element to this as well. And I feel like our Knight of Wands is just saying, what are you passionate about? What are you making your decisions for? Our Wands energy, that fire energy, really talks about what keeps us going. What's our internal furnace? What is that message, that idea, what is that energy that keeps us going, that we are fighting for? What are we making these decisions for? What is our destiny? What is our purpose? What is our direction? So I feel like the Wands energy is helping to keep that air energy nice and warm and moving and flowing, right? Because our air energy can be kind of cold, kind of cool. It's a very kind of cool energy. Fast moving, yes, but a little bit cool. It's that masculine energy. There's not a lot of, it's very... it's the logic, it's the reason. The sword cuts through things, it's sharp. And I feel like the Wands energy is going to kind of keep things warm, keep things moving, keep things connected. spiritually and connected to your creativity, your talents and abilities and all that kind of stuff. So we're not forgetting all this stuff in 2021, even though our focus is on our clarity in our mental world. I feel like the Knight of Wands is bringing the message, like, we're not forgetting about our passions and the things that we're focused on as far as like our creative world and creative space. We don't want to forget those things. Even though that might not necessarily be our focus in 2021, we still want to keep those things alive in 2021. And those things are going to be a part of that unique energy. So that's the snowflake. The snowflake that we looked at in July, again, talks about that unique energy. And that's really what that Knight of Wands energy to me is. It's a part of that. It's included in that. So we're not forgetting about the other areas. We're just, changing the focus a little bit for 2021. We're focusing on our mental space and being able to make sound decisions that are grounded and our decisions, not decisions that we're making by influence of others. Okay. All right, now let's flip over our culminating energy for you, group number 1. We have opposition. This does not surprise me at all that we have opposition as your culminating energy. So opposite viewpoints, disharmony, misunderstandings, and communication gaps, personal differences. This is basically what we've been talking about this whole time in a lot of different ways. But I also feel like this is going to be, I feel like this is like a message to you to let you know that as you go through these changes, because I feel like part of grounding yourself in your mental space and being able to have your own mind and make your own decisions is going to require you to set some strong boundaries with people around you. And that includes change. People often don't really like change, and there's going to be some kickback a little bit on the changes that you make and have to make in order to secure your journey. So, our guiding energy for 2021 is about contemplation. It's really an inward focus for you in 2021, gaining clarity on who you are and the direction and path that you want to take your life. And just that culminating message, like, there's going to be some opposition to that. There's going to be some raised eyebrows. There's going to be some people who don't understand. But this journey, your fool's journey, if you will, because we did have the Fool card present here, is about you freeing your mind and freeing yourself of other people's opinions. You freeing yourself of what you believe is expected of you, and you just living your life and making those sound grounded decisions for yourself as you go along. Will you always make the right decision? Probably not. None of us do. Nobody's perfect. But it's about being solid in making the decision. That's what the focus of 2021 is. It's not about making the right decisions. It's about being sound and grounded in the decisions that you're making and making them from your own space and place of power and clarity. All right. So, my beautiful souls, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I certainly hope this is helpful for you, that you pull these messages into your 2021, that the things that you don't maybe like, you're able to, work on those things and change them a bit so that you come out of 2021 in a more sound, grounded position, that you're confident in the decisions that you're making, whether they're right or they're wrong. You're confident in your voice and your spark of life and intent and purpose in this year to come. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. Click like and subscribe. Drop a comment here on YouTube. Let me know what resonated here in the message. Connect with me on Instagram and TikTok. And check out my Etsy shop for personal readings and other content I curate for you on your spiritual life journey. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, Kindred Spirit, and welcome to your reading group number 2. All right, so let's flip over your guiding energy. These are your 2021 predictions. We're going to flip over your guiding energy right off the top here. Approach, advancing, a warm reception, prosperous conditions, increased influence, hopefulness, lightening up, and arrival. Ooh, sounds very promising and interesting. Can't wait to get into the charms for your reading. We're going to go ahead and set our culminating energy card off to the side. We'll flip it over at the very end of our reading. And we're going to go ahead and cast our charms. Hands are a little. Give her a twirl. That got heavy quick, didn't it? Okay. Well, I have one sticking to my finger, so I'm just going to drop it from above, see where it lands. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and lift up your charms so you can get a better view. Okay, lots of cards. Let's see. I'm just getting a look here. Okay, let's start with our focus energy. So we have our open eye on one side, which talks about the focus of things that you will see. You know, like well, there's lots of cards in there. And then we have on the other side the unseen. So things that will be working through your life that isn't going to be like out in the open, if you will, on the forefront of your mind. Wow, there's a lot happening here. Let's see. So we have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands, Nine of Cups, Six of Swords, the engagement ring, the rose cross, and the microphone. Okay. There's a lot of energy present in the focus, and that could be part of the issue. Could be that there's just a lot that you're focused on. So the Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving. Six of Swords talks about it's almost like moving on from a bad situation into a better situation, or escaping something that isn't right for you and moving into something unknown but better for you, and like as you hope, you know, that's what the hope is, the promise. So either you are doing the escaping or you're helping someone else. You're ferrying someone else off into the next phase of their life. It's like leaving a difficult situation. I'm trying to see if I can find the tarot card. Where you at? There you are. Sometimes I like to pull out the tarot cards. This is the Six of Swords. Nine of Cups talks about almost like a confidence and A self-assuredness to me is the Nine of Cups. Like you're self-assured, you're confident in who you are from the inside. Queen of Cups, nurturing and nourishing, that heart space, love. Could be talking about romance with the engagement ring. That could be the focus. The cross, the rose cross, talks about sacrifice. And the microphone, that's the word. The microphone talks about like your voice, speaking out, amplifying your voice. And we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Energy. It's the message of energy, passion. That could be representing maybe a partner. Queen of Cups could be representing a partner as well. Sun, Moon, Rising in a water sign. That divine feminine energy. Mature, divine feminine energy. Or a less mature masculine fire energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have Pisces here as well in October. Okay. I'm just going to be honest and say, this might morph as we get through more of the messages, but right off the bat, just looking at the focus of our, looking at the focus here, it's telling me that love, a sacrifice of love. So it could be love coming or going. With the approach, so with this card being, this feels like almost like the Six of Wands energy, like you're moving from a dark space into something more promising. It feels like that Six of Swords energy that we talked about. I don't know what I just said. Six of Swords energy that we just talked about. Potentially you're moving on from this Knight of Wands or Knave of Wands energy, this kind of immature, fiery energy, and you're moving towards, I feel like the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups is like your energy, like you're moving into a place where you're nurturing and nourishing yourself from the inside out, gaining confidence and surety in who you are. You're developing your voice. It's almost like you're sacrificing this relationship in order to get yourself into a better emotional position. That's just what I'm seeing. I'm not predicting any breakups or anything like that. That's just the feeling. And it could also be just talking about you sacrificing love right now, like outside love, in order to build up your inside love and your self-love and finding your voice. It's almost like you're sacrificing, you know, if engagement or commitment, this could also be, you know, the engagement ring also talks about commitment or promise of commitment that could be being sacrificed in order to get yourself into a better heart space to receive the type of love that you're interested in. So there's a lot of potential focuses, but I do feel like the focus is on love. It can manifest in its various fashions and forms, but love. And then we have, in our unseen, we have the peace symbol. So I feel like the undercurrents of what we are accomplishing this year, again, with developing that heart space and our voice and you know, I feel like we're even on the, I feel like the Six of Pentacles in this particular case is talking about reception. Especially if you're the type of person that struggles receiving. I feel like this year is going to be a lesson in reception and receiving from others. So you have two sixes energy, and six in general is about giving and receiving. And I feel like you're going to be on the receiving end of that. I feel like there's a healing going on and a confidence. Like you're establishing a confidence in who you are as an individual, your spiritual stability, your self-esteem, your value, your worth. All of that is going to be the focus of 2021, even if that means sacrificing some other things, potentially love ships or the promise of love. So putting that on the back burner, like if you're looking for a partner, maybe putting that on the back burner while you kind of focus on yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, in the background, in the undercurrent of going through all of this is going to bring about peace, right? So that's going to be like the unforeseen consequences of this journey is going to be peace. And with the elephant, so many things that the elephant could mean. I feel like the elephant talks about ancestry. There's like a matriarch vibe to elephants. There's a very nurturing, like gentle giant almost. Like the elephant is so big and is so powerful. The potential for their power is so great, but yet they are so gentle. So I feel like that feels like the very queen, that queen of cups energy here, with like this gentle, divine, feminine, inwardly strong, ruling, this kind, gentle, ruling sort of energy. Not tempering of your power, but it's almost like you're channeling the power in a different way, where you're accomplishing your goals through a softer approach to things. And that's kind of like an unforeseen consequences, that you're actually accomplishing more and you're at peace as you develop and strengthen your inner world, your heart space, and your spirituality from that emotional standpoint, and developing your voice in that and the confidence too. To me, the microphone also represents confidence as well. If someone is holding a microphone in their hand, often they're talking to a larger audience. They are trying to get people's attention, and often they're speaking from a place of knowledge and confidence. So I feel like developing confidence and working on that heart space, nurturing and nourishing your inner world, your heart, your emotions, your spirituality, your creativity. That is going to be the focus of 2021 for you, my love. Okay. So now that we've established our focus, which I really love that. I love this. Oh my gosh, I'm vibing so hard. This is so exciting. And I also want to point out that in our guiding card, the lake and the square, which represents yin energy, that divine feminine energy, is very, very, like I said, divine feminine. That soft divine feminine energy is very, very present in this reading in its entirety. So huge focus. So let's start in January. Let's flip over our card. We have Six of Cups. 6, 6, 6. 6 energy is incredibly important for you. No, it is not the number of the devil, okay? 666 is an angel number that talks about that your thoughts, and refocusing your thoughts and being mindful of your thoughts. You're manifesting whatever you're thinking about. So make sure that you're focusing on the things that you want and not whining and complaining and thinking about the things that you don't want. Spend some time envisioning what you want your life to look like and be like and feel like. And 666 also helps you remember that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Okay, you're a spiritual being, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of exploration of that as we push through 2021, okay? So the number 6 is going to be very important. If you see, I feel like that's a sequential number for you as well. So if you see the number 6 a lot as you're going through your day-to-day, your life, pay attention to those. They're going to be signs that your angel guides, your spirit guides are talking to you and trying to communicate with you. So pay attention to the number 6 in 2021. So the 6 of Cups, though, we didn't actually talk about the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups could talk about like past love, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. It could be past relationship. It could just talk about giving and receiving love. And like I said, I feel like 2021 is the year of reception for you. So receiving love, which means that you need to open up yourself. You need to open up your heart space in order to receive help, love, messages, all of these things that are coming for you. You need to open yourself up to receive those things. So I like that we're starting off right away with love, the message of love and the reception of love and giving love. I think that's a beautiful beginning to your year, and I feel like it's very on point with your guiding energy, which is totally focused on love as well. So Gemini energy moving from January into February. So the keyword for Gemini is intelligent. So though there is a huge focus on our heart space in general, love, and in all its shapes and forms and facets, I feel like Gemini could be representing you or a person that is either in your life or coming into your life at the end of January into February 2021. And again, it could be representing you. You could have strong Gemini placements in your birth chart as well. But Gemini really talks about intelligence, intellect. It's an air sign energy. So it's that thought space. I feel like this is an emphasis on your thought space and your thoughts and what you're saying to yourself, what you're communicating to the universe. So positive affirmations, positive mindset, whatever it takes. If you have to, write affirmations out, print it out, write it out, put it on your wall, whatever you have to do, but making sure that you're keeping your mind clear of negativity. And also in February, we have our shell face down. So we're starting off a little closed off. We're starting off emotionally closed off in 2021, which makes a lot of sense since our focus is on opening ourselves up to receiving. We're working on our heart space. We're pushing to become the Queen of Cups. So we're not going to start off that way. And I think that's totally fair. But just be mindful that, emotionally kind of closed off a little bit. We have, moving into March, we have our doll energy here, which to me talks about the past. To me, that's very nostalgic energy, talks about the past with the doll. So that could be representing just a focus on memories, a focus on the past. I'm feeling fond memories. It feels positive. But just in general, like a focus on the past. And we have the 3 of Swords. Oh, okay. So we're working through some things in February and March. We got the upside down shell, memories, and the 3 of Swords, which talks about like pain, deep pain, and releasing that pain. So I feel like in February and March, we're releasing some pain. We're acknowledging potentially some things that happened in the past. Childhood, so doing some root work might be important. Some shadow work might be important in February and March. But after we go through this, this is the Eiffel Tower charm, which talks about a change in perspective. So we're getting a new perspective, a new point of view. We're seeing life a little bit differently than we have in the past. So that a change in perspective or a shift in perspective is going to be important here as we leave March and move into April. So we have our mushroom. So you can interpret that in a lot of different ways in any way that you want to, but I feel like the mushroom talks about, well, the mushroom, it feels like, I was liken it to like iceberg energy, where before you see the fruit, which is what we consider the mushroom, like the sprout that comes above the ground, there's an entire network going on underground that we do not see. So I feel like there's some things happening under the surface here with the mushroom as we move into April from March, and we're going through this difficult time, gaining some perspective, and some things are starting to fruit. So this is almost like the energy that's happening underground in the connection to the mushroom, and now we're starting to see some of the fruit of those situations. So we have some other things here. Let's see. So these are like sub-focuses, I feel like, the things that don't land on one of the months and they don't land inside of the glasses, the focus glasses. Okay. So we have Casa Toscana, which talks about family. It could be referring directly to Italy or having a connection to Italy. Could be talking about travel, but I feel like it's talking about family. And we have the house with the tree. So I feel like this is talking about family. We have the Jack of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. Can't see that very well, can you? There we go. Let me move this out a little bit. We're in here, we're looking in here, and we have the cassette tape, which to me talks about, well, it talks about sound, it talks about music, but also talks about nostalgia and oldness. So it could be old music, listening to oldies, might be getting some messages through old music. That Knave of Swords could be talking about, could be a person with strong air sign placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh, yeah. Seven of Wands. It's like being caught off guard. But with the Ten of Pentacles, which talks about prosperity, talks about home, it talks about family, talks about balance, talks about abundance. It's a very positive energy. So I feel like a subplot in 2021 could definitely be, it's definitely connected to family, to your family. Something is catching you off guard with your family, or you're defending either something to your family, defending maybe some decisions that you're making, especially if you're doing some sacrificing of some things here as far as the commitment and other things go. You could be having to like stand up or defend some of the positions that you're taking in your life or the changes that you're making in your life, but it's centered around your family. So that might be very specific to some of you, and or you might already be aware potentially of where that's going, but we'll just keep going and see if there's some more clarity. Sometimes more clarity comes as we keep going with the reading, but okay, so the bow could be talking about refinements, like putting a bow on something is like refining it, making it presentable. So that could be talking about you know, you presenting an idea or yourself or a situation. You could be using the microphone in May and presenting maybe your stance or position on something. I feel like the bow could also be talking about a gift. So maybe you're receiving a gift, since this year is talking about you being in a place of reception. It could be talking about you receiving a gift. Are you seeing this? Maybe not. I don't know. You receiving a gift, and potentially from, could be a message, a gift of a message through lyrics, or could be some sort of nostalgic energy or message connected to music in some kind of a way. I'm getting a jewelry box, that, you know, the singing kind, or I don't know why that just came to my mind, but it did. Okay. So the summer is going to be a little quiet as far as specific things. Obviously, our focus is still happening during the summer months. So this could be a time of contemplation. You could also be potentially working through some of this family stuff or navigating through some of that. But we get into the fall and we have the lotus blossom. So the lotus blossom here talks about, so the lotus blossom blooms like in the darkness, in the mud, in the muck. And when it does bloom, it's actually like one of the most beautiful flowers. So I feel like it kind of makes sense that we're doing a lot of our transition and transformation. We're kind of, it almost feels like secluding ourselves for a period of time in order to discover our voice and nurture our inside, you know, self. And we're starting to blossom. We're starting to bloom a bit here in September. October has Pisces energy. I feel like that's like that psychic connection. Yeah, so intuitive is the guiding energy for Pisces. Pisces is that water energy. I feel like we're starting to come into our spirituality here. We're blossoming, we're blooming in the fall, coming into our spirituality, coming into a place of strength. We're starting to really embrace that Queen of Cups energy, and standing in that confidence there. And it's like your ability to, your intuitive talents and abilities are fruiting. I feel like they're coming to fruition, and they're strengthening and becoming a really strong asset in your life. We have the Five of Wands also in October, which talks about some conflict. Okay, so we're talking about some change here. This whole year is about change, right? In our heart space, and developing our heart space and strengthening our heart space. So yeah, there's going to be some conflict there. Some disagreements, some arguments with potentially people in your life, family, friends, whatnot. But navigating through those is really going to be you being able to embrace your, move this back a little bit, but you being able to embrace your, you being able to embrace the confidence and the assurity that you've been developing over that year in who you are from a core level. Like, there might be some people who test your integrity, who challenge your intent and your purpose, and you're not standing for it. You're not having it because you know who you are. That's what the intuition to me is about. Like, you knowing who you are on the inside out, having that spiritual connection, again with the 3 6s being a very obvious and prevalent number in your reading today. And just really kind of leaning in on who you are and being confident and sure about your purpose and intent moving forward. So I know that Pisces kind of get the rap of being wishy-washy and indecisive, unsure, insecure. But like Pisces in their full power, Pisces embracing like their mature, like Queen of Cups energy, like really standing in who they are extremely powerful, are extremely psychic, just are super powerful, having the ability to be super powerful. So if you have really strong Pisces placements in your chart, I'm a moon in Pisces, okay? So if you have strong Pisces placements in your charts, and maybe in the past you felt insecure and you're an empath. A lot of Pisces and strong Pisces placements, especially moon placements, are empathic and psychic, and you're channeling other people's energy and all sorts of stuff. So it you kind of feel uncertain about you on a base level. And I feel like that's really what we're working on this year. That's our focus, okay? So if you're resonating with the Pisces energy, just know that Pisces and their power are really strong. And that's what I'm feeling in October for you, that you're able to kind of fight a little bit, you know? You're not backing down. You know, you're confident in your abilities and who you are, and you're not standing for the BS, okay? We have the Eight of Wands and the Tree of Life moving from October into November. So the Tree of Life is like this version. So there's a couple of charms with the tree. The one with the circle around it is the one that talks about family, like your earthly family, like ancestors. It could talk about friends, close friends, but it's really talking about like relatives. When we have the unbound tree, like we do here in November, it talks about like spiritual family. It talks about your spiritual connection to the universe. And again, that's our whole focus of this year anyway, is really developing a deep connection with that spiritual realm, that cups realm, creativity, purpose, destiny, and developing a strong confidence in that. So we have the Eight of Wands, which talks about energy coming out of the woodwork here. So this is universe energy coming your way to help you navigate through some of these changes. So like I said, fall in general, fall moving into winter, you're blossoming, you're blooming, you're coming into your own, you're coming into your confidence, you're not dealing with any, you are not backing down from any kinds of conflicts. You aren't allowing people to run all over you like a speed bump. You're exerting your power and authority over your life, and you're connecting spiritually. So this is about spiritual connection. It's almost like standing in your power, embracing your power, your intuition, your unique you-ness, and connecting spiritually in a really solid way is encouraging the universe to bless you with power and energy and support. That's what our Eight of Wands represents with the Tree of Life together. So it's a lot of like spiritual power, kind of like backup, right? So standing in your own power ends up giving you more power, because that's what you're attracting in your life. And then moving into December, we're looking at so we have the bell. So I feel like the bell kind of talks about a couple of things. It could be talking about like, you use bells in bell towers to mark off the hours. So it could be a way of keeping time. But I feel like the bell is also a way of getting attention. We use the bell in the bell tower in order to get your attention, to let you know that it is the next hour. Okay, so the bell could just be talking about getting either your attention or someone else's attention. And with the kissy lips, we could be now in a position to embrace love, right? Now that we've come into our power, come into who we are, we know who we are, what we feel, what we want, we're able to attract and get the attention of somebody who is going to be good for us at this point. We have the violin, which talks about creativity. It also talks about refinement of creativity, a skill or a talent. I'm feeling like this is all connected, and potentially you're getting the attention of somebody who is creative. So this person, I'm feeling King of Cups energy solid. So this person is confident, creative, and solid in their heart space and who they are on an emotive level. They could be psychic and spiritually connected as well. So I feel like you're attracting your divine counterpart, and that's really what the focus isn't necessarily attracting your divine counterpart. The focus is you, your confidence in who you are and your abilities, and all of that ends up manifesting in you attracting your divine counterpart, which is, that yin to your yang, or yang to your yin, whichever one you're connecting with or associating with. Okay, wow, so beautiful. Okay, I feel like this energy is solid. A lot of really intense, incredible divine feminine energy present for you in 2021. So embrace it. Embrace your emotions. You're not crazy. Embrace your spiritual world. Doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong. That is where your strength is. Remember that unseen. Let's see if we can get it in here. That in the unseen, again, peace, and that peace in that divine feminine, strong, confident Cups energy. I'm feeling super confident, super aligned spiritually, connected to all your gifts and talents. But it's going to be a process getting there, right? We're going through some things. There's some challenges, some difficulty. There's some surprises. There are going to be some people who aren't on board, who don't understand what you're going through and what the process is and all of that stuff that we're going through the year. But I feel like overall, this focus on your being confident in who you are on an emotive, spiritual, creative level is going to be worth its weight in gold. So the encouragement, right? This is the energy that we are casting right now, okay? There still needs to be effort to put it in work. Like, this isn't what's going to happen just because time is passing. There's work, there's effort, there's things that need to be done on your side in order to step into the blessings of being confident spiritually, creatively, being connected and confident and connected in the possibilities. Like, these are the possibilities for 2021. And I really love it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So let's go ahead. I know we already have a lot of cards present and speaking, but we're going to go ahead and shuffle out some tarot cards for you, and then we'll flip over our culminating energy. Oh, okay, we had a flyer. Ooh, ha, the world. Yes, yes, the world, I see you. The moon feels very, kind of do this just for like any additional messages. Oftentimes I see that these tarot just kind of reiterates some of the things we've already talked about. Okay, so we've got the Three of Cups, the world, and the moon. To me, the Three of Cups is talking about, our whole conversation this year is about love. So I feel like the Three of Cups is talking about it's talking about like friendly, familial, platonic love. So nurturing your friendships, nurturing your familiar relationships. I feel like it also talks about play. It talks about fun. So enjoying the process. It doesn't have to be, you crying and just feeling pain the whole year. No, it's always about balance. So as we're working through difficulty and challenge, and we're challenging ourselves spiritually to work through past issues and work through some shadow issues, work through some of that unseen energy inside of ourselves, which is represented here by the moon. you know, that inward energy, that moon energy, which also talks about kind of the darkness too. It talks about the untamed side of ourselves as well as the domestic side of ourselves, represented by the dog and the wolf there. But it's almost like your cordial side, right? The pleasant, proper sort of side to yourself, as well as your instinctive, like kind of base energy as well. So I feel like it's an embracing of both of those energies and understanding that they both call to the moon there, right? So they're both looking at the moon, calling to the moon, looking up to the moon. So it's about, I feel like shadow work. Shadow work is going to be important for you this year. And shadow work in embracing who you are and all of your ways, shapes, forms, lumps, bumps, and bruises. That's what shadow work is really about. Calling forth the things that we stuff down, you know, giving that shadow energy a voice. Okay. And then the world, which I feel like is a beautiful kind of just overall energy for you for 2021. Excuse me. The world is at your fingertips. Anything that you set your heart and mind to can come to fruition. To me, the world is also reflecting upon, you know, the conversation that we have with you about being connected. You know, the whole point and purpose of the focus of our 2021 is on alignment, spiritual connection, being so confident and solid in who you are. No one and nothing can shake you because you know who you are, what your purpose and intent is from the inside out. And with that confidence and alignment, the world opens up to you. You know, the magic of the world is at your fingertips because of your connection and confidence and solidity in who you are, your intent, and your purpose. Such a powerful message for you, group number 2. I hope this resonated. If it did, make sure to drop a comment. Before we get into final words, comments, we're going to go ahead and flip over our culminating energy for the year. So final thoughts. Ooh, increase. Okay. Loving this. All right. Increase. We're reaping rewards. Expanding. We're flowering. Abundance. Fertility. Fertile ground. 42 reduces down to the number 6. The number 6 is going to be so important for your 2021. Pay attention to the signs connected to the number 6. This is so beautiful. I feel like it just makes sense, right? With our guiding energy being approached, right? We're approaching the garden, the prosperity. We're moving out of the cold and the darkness, and we're moving into the warmth, the reception, the abundance, the awards, the overflow. And it's so beautiful. This energy is so beautiful, and I am so incredibly happy for you right now. This is so exciting. It's going to take some work and some effort though, right? We're not done yet, but we know what the outcome is going to be. We know where we're headed to, and that's the beauty of these types of readings where we're predicting, you know, and reaching out into the future to get some information and some guidance, okay? So your focus, group number 2 in 2021, is going to be nurturing your heart space, your spirituality, connecting and aligning with yourself in a way that you have never done before, from the inside out, completely embracing yourself, moving through, working through the shadows, moving and working through any root work issues that you have, and having a really strong, solid spiritual connection at the end of this year that is going to bring you abundance, increase, a reaping of rewards, and overflow. So, my beautiful soul, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I certainly hope something resonated with you. Make sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what did. Let me know if some of the charms hit specifically, home for you and really kind of touched you, or what messages really kind of triggered you or touched you. Make sure to click like and subscribe if you're not already a part of the Kindred family. Go on ahead and do that. I don't know why I got country all of a sudden. Make sure to connect with me on TikTok and Instagram, and check out my Etsy shop if you're interested in a personal reading or any other content that I curate there to help you on your spiritual life journey. So thank you so much, beautiful soul, for your time and your energy today, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your 2021 predictions video. We are going to go ahead and flip over our guiding energy today. Let's see what 2021 has to offer us as far as the guiding message for you. Influence. Ooh, interesting. Courtship. Mutual attraction. Genuine affection. Natural magnetism. Stimulation. Connection. Okay. All right. So this definitely suggests some sort of a partnership or love ship or romance. So let's see what our charms have in store for us. This is our culminating energy, our ending message. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. We'll flip it over at the end of the reading. Okay. So I've got my charms over here. This is going to get loud while I cast my charms. So, we have our focus glasses. So anything that lands in the eye here is going to be what you are intending to focus on, what the kind of outward energy is going to be the focus for the year. And then our closed eye is going to be like, I call it the unseen. So energies that are working in the background that might be either giving us extra energy or maybe sucking energy or siphoning energy for us. So kind of unseen, behind the scenes, in the background type of messages. So let's go ahead and cast our charms. You might need to turn your volume down while I cast the charms. It gets a little loud, okay? Okay, go ahead, raise this up so you can see the charms better. All right, I'm just taking a look to see. Interesting. So, ooh, Okay, so we're going to start with the focus. There's a lot of messages in our focus, so give me 1 minute. I'm looking for something. The 7 of Pentacles. I like to, sometimes I like to find the tarot cards. It helps me to get the full message sometimes. Where are you? Oh, okay. Got it. into that in a minute. All right. I'm trying to pull some of those charms out. So the violin and the house charm here with the tree landed right under the glasses. So I would say that they are, you know, I feel like there's some layers to the focused energy today. So, okay, well, okay, so with the Casa Toscana, we definitely have a message about family. The parrot here talks about, conversation, messages, speaking. And there's also kind of an encouragement to be mindful of what you say, right? Because the parrots repeat back what you say. And it's almost like what you say, what you think, what you communicate to the universe is going to like reflect back to you. So be mindful of your thoughts and what you say. And then we also have this little diary here, Secret Love, which I feel like our guiding energy, you can't see that, sorry. Our guiding energy here talks about some sort of love or connection happening romantically, specifically. We have the Fool energy, which talks about kind of like infinite possibilities and openness, adventure. We have the Queen of Wands energy, which talks about nurturing or nourishing, create your creative spark. There's a confidence with our Queen of Wands energy here. The Queen of Wands could represent that secret love. It could be somebody with strong fire sign placements in their birth chart. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Doesn't necessarily have to, of course, but this could represent that love interest. We might get some more information as we go through the reading. The Anchor. With the skull and crossbones. Okay, so there is kind of it's almost like a warning here that negativity can hold you back or hold you down, right? Pirates are thieves, you know, so there could be some pirate activity, whether that's in your own mind space or, you know, voices or people outside of your mind that are keep holding you back, keeping you way down, keeping your ship from setting sail, and for you going out living your life and exploring. So just being mindful of that. We might get a little bit more information on that as we go along in the reading, but I just wanted to call that out as something to pay attention to. And then in our unseen here, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So I wanted to pull out the tarot card so we can look at the imagery on that card. So our Seven of Pentacles basically talks about you're toiling away, right? You're toiling away and you get to a point where you're like looking at all the work and the effort that you've done, but there's still work to be done, right? There's still some things to be done as you are working through the process of, you know, preparing your worldly house, if you will. So there is like almost like an unseen efforts in the background that has to do with you kind of working in the background, either towards a career or towards some sort of financial stability, as well as like health and wellness. So there is kind of like this hidden or background effort and work that you're putting in to stabilize your life, okay? All right, so I'm gonna, since we have so many charms, I know so many, we have 4. Since we have some charms present in the space, not inside of a month, but not inside of the focus. These are like secondary, right? So we have our focus, our primary, and then we have secondary. And I feel like in this case, we also have some tertiary messages. So the house with the tree and the violin were right under, front and center. They were right under the focus glasses here. So I feel like there are secondary messages about creativity and refinement of skills here with the violin. It could literally be talking about a violin or music in general, but I feel like the essence, the essential messages from the violin talk about refining a skill. It takes a lot of time, effort, and energy to be good at playing the violin, which I feel like is a little bit different than other instruments. Like, yes, it takes time and energy to learn any kind of an instrument or to fine-tune any kind of an instrument, but I feel like the violin, to be good at the violin, takes a little bit more time, effort, energy, talent to be able to do that. So there's a calling here to refine some skills that you have, or some talents, some natural talents and abilities that could be or could not be connected to music, but it is insinuating some sort of a creative endeavor. And then a focus around family. So I feel like this charm with the house and the tree, and it has this border around it, it feels almost like picture perfect, almost like the illusion of a perfect family or a perfect home. That I would say is kind of the negative connotation, but also refining or putting like your house and your personal private space into, like making it the best that it can be. I also feel like it's a connection of past and present. So we have the tree, which talks about ancestors, and the house to me talks about like your space. So a connection between you and your ancestors as they are all inside of the box. However, I could also see some kind of a disconnect to here with them being two different individual parts and pieces. So there might be some encouragement to do some root work for you, excuse me, in 2021. Okay, and then we also have the Big Ben, which is this charm right here. To me, this clock tower really talks about gaining perspective on time. So towers in general talk about gaining perspective, and in this particular case, gaining perspective on time. So how much time is available to us, gaining perspective on what to do with your time. But there's going to be a tertiary message, or one of the focuses or interests of 2021 is going to be gaining a perspective and insight on time, how to use time, the importance of time, maybe feeling like you have less time, and learning or gaining the perspective that you have more time than you think you have. So just a perspective, gaining some perspective on time in general. And then we have our King of Wands present. So lots of Wands energy. We have both the King and the Queen of Wands present. This could be talking about a partner in the secret love situation who, again, that strong fire placements, but divine masculine energy. This could also be talking about a collaboration between the divine masculine and divine feminine Wands energy. So confidence, creativity. Our King of Wands holds the seed of creativity, and the Queen of Wands is the one that brings that seed, that vision into, nurtures and nourishes that seed of that vision into life, makes it real, practical, gives it the sustenance that it needs to come into the world. Okay, so it could also be talking about, again, a collaboration of these two energies. And it could also be, if you have strong fire sign placements in your charts, it could be talking about you attracting a divine counterpart, potentially even a twin flame, so the divine counterpart to you. So if you are connecting with the Queen of Wands energy, you could be attracting the King of Wands energy. and vice versa. So I just think it's interesting that it's a pair of the same suit. It just, to me, tells me that there's going to be a lot of focus in 2021 around Wands energy. So passion, creativity, even love and romance. Not just like love from like the watery kind of emotive sense, but passion, lust, attraction, magnetism, like that kind of love is going to be a focus in 2021 as well. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at, we're going to start in January, work our way around. A lot's happening in January. Okay, so we've got the cassette player, with Virgo energy, we have the purse, we have the lotus blossom flowing into February, as well as the upside down shell. So, all right, there is a nostalgic energy here with the cassette tape. Could be talking about old songs or old music. It could be talking about memories of songs, or connection of memories and songs to your past. So I feel like it's like, be mindful, like if you're listening to oldies or something, be mindful of the messages in those songs. They could be trying to communicate with you, especially in January. Virgo energy. So our Virgo energy is that earth energy, practical, grounded, analytical. Our Virgos are the detail-oriented of the astrological charts. They focus on the details, analyzing information, Mercury as their ruler. So we're paying attention to details here in January right off the bat here. I feel like this is also, as we are, again, so there's a very strong love message or romance message in this reading. And I feel like if you're vibing with that message, Virgo is going to be very practical when it comes to love, even though there's a lot of fire energy present. So there is going to be, or there is an encouragement to be a little bit more practical, especially when you are vetting suitors, okay? When you're vetting potential partners, making sure that you're being more practical about that. But if the love message is not vibing, Virgo really in this situation is really just saying that there's going to be a focus on the details. We are analyzing and we're being more practical about the decisions that we're making as we're moving into 2021. So if you're the type of person maybe that's a little bit more fiery, a little bit more spontaneous, a little bit more reckless, Virgo energy is encouraging you to kind of settle that a little bit, be more analytical, slow down, be more practical about your expectations and the way that you're approaching 2021, okay? And then we have our purse. So our purse could be talking about the bag, okay? Making money, especially next to that Virgo energy. It could be talking about making money, talking about maybe a raise or some sort of an increase financially. I feel like it could also, the purse also represents like valuables. We store valuables in our purse when we're going out into the world. So talking about values, what's valuable to you, what do you keep in your purse, spiritual purse? Like what do you take with you when you leave your home, you know, and you're out in the world, so to speak? What's in that bag? You know, what are you bringing with you that is valuable? And then January into February, we have our lotus blossom here. So the significance of the lotus blossom is that it is a flower that blooms in the darkness, in mud, in muck, in kind of icky situation, but it comes out to be a very beautiful flower. So I feel like that's kind of the message there, you know, with the closed off shell too saying emotionally unavailable. Maybe that's why the focus is a little bit more on the passionate and lusty side. It could be because you're just heart space wise, not in a place to receive that deep love. So I feel like love is a combination. Love manifests where fire and water come together. I mean, all of the elements, yes, but I feel like primarily water and fire mixing together in a positive way creates love. It creates passion, but also emotional stability. It creates a completion of that spiritual energy. So fire energy is spiritual, connected to spirituality, as well as water. So when they work together, it's like a holistic, full version of spirituality and love and connectivity. So I feel like we're not, you know, in the beginning of the year, we're maybe struggling to get there, but I feel like with the Lotus Blossom, it's like there is a hope. Like in the mud and the muck, some of you might be coming out of a difficult situation, a breakup, or some sort of, yeah, we have the Nine of Swords here in the March, showing up in March. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely talking about sadness, a difficult situation, hard times. It also talks about release and letting go. So I feel like in the beginning of the year in general, we're working through, Feather talks about communication, we're working through some of the past difficulty. There was a nostalgic energy already with the cassette tape. So working through some past energy, reevaluating what our values are, what's valuable to us, what we want to take forward, and getting in touch with our emotions here. So I feel like that's an encouragement for you. I would say that seeing the shell upside down is basically saying there's a potential here to be emotionally unavailable. But now that you have the information, you can always change it and work on your emotional availability for 2021 if you're having difficulty with that. Again, communication in March. I feel like as we're working through these issues, we're kind of coming out of March with, you know, being more communicative. And we also have the mushroom in March, which talks about, you know, the mushroom that we see above the ground is a reflection of all of the networks of, you know, all of the network of the mushroom. Okay, so basically it's like iceberg energy, right? There's a lot happening underneath the surface that we cannot see, and it's starting to fruit here. So I feel like there's lots of messages right in the beginning around like darkness and mud and muck, and you know, because mushrooms, you know, they dwell in the darkness, the damp, dark, you know, that dampness, the darkness is where they kind of dwell in, what do they call, rotten, you know, the rot and the ick is. So there's some messages of like almost like coming out of a difficult, sad, icky situation in a positive way is what these two symbols are kind of representing for me here. So we do have the Tree of Life here in April, which talks about earthly family. So I feel like maybe even support or connection somehow with your family, which we also said there was a connection to that in the focus as well. But I feel like leaning on your family if you have positive relationships with your family. Otherwise, it's talking about root work. So connecting with your ancestors, paying attention to ancestral messages and things like that around the April-May marker. And I love that we have play in May. There's an encouragement here to, hello, enjoy life. Yes, we're going through things. Yes, we're kind of focused on confidence and building confidence and attracting partners and being successful in our careers and all these other things that we're focused on. But I feel like this is just a reminder here to make sure that you are enjoying your life. You're doing some things that you enjoy doing, that you like doing, spending time with people that you like and enjoy. So don't lose sight of the fact that we are indeed still living life and that we don't always have to be Okay, I lost it. It's underneath. We don't always have to be charging towards some sort of, you know, thing, you know. We can just be enjoying life and playing and having fun too. 5 of Pentacles. Okay. We have the Bell. We have Imagine. Capricorn energy. 2 of Cups. Okay. Libra. Capricorn. Okay. So there's a lot of kind of energy happening in June and July here. So mid-year. The 5 of Pentacles suggests some difficulty, some challenge, potentially even some physical ailments. I also am, you know, with the Bell here, which talks about like getting someone's attention, combined with the Imagine and the 2 of Cups, I feel like if a partnership is in the air, it's happening around this time, June, July. You know, the 2 of Cups suggests a partnership. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partnership, so it could be some other sort of partnership where the other party involved has your, you know, your good at heart. It's a positive partnership and connection. So it could be talking about the combination of Libra and Capricorn energies. So you could be either a Libra or Capricorn, and that you have strong placements of these signs in your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, in Capricorn or Libra, and or this other party, whether it's a romantic interest or whether it is just a partner, you know, somebody who you're going to be in collaboration with in 2021, coming into your life. So if it is a love partnership, there's just so many love vibes to this reading. I'm just going to roll with that. I feel like there's an encouragement here to imagine this partnership and imagine. It's almost like I'm also feeling like Pisces energy too, like dreaming, imagination. To me, this could also be a little bit of a almost like you in your own headspace imagining or daydreaming about a potential partnership, or having met this person maybe in a different capacity, and maybe imagining what a romantic connection or partnership could be like with this person. So very interesting, but we're getting attention here, and I feel like either you're getting their attention or they're getting your attention with the Bell here right next to our 2 of Cups energy. So you know, if the love message is not vibing, then the energies of the Capricorn and Libra energy. So our Libra talks about balance. Our Libra talks about like balance, communication, charm, justice, doing the right thing, potentially even making decisions or having trouble or challenges making decisions. And then Capricorn energy is about the hard work, effort. Our Capricorns are sure-footed. They're ambitious. They go after what they want. They're not afraid of rolling up their metaphorical sleeves and just diving into it and getting it done. Okay, it's about achievement for our Capricorns. All right, so that has a work or a business connection to it to me, but just ambition in general. And it could also be talking about like back on the love train again, working for or being ambitious in love or your love relationship. So maybe even advancing the relationship quickly, or making sure it's progressing, that sort of thing. All right, and then July into August, we have a couple of charms present here. We have our fan, we have the bottle, and we have the 4-leaf clover. So the 4-leaf clover talks about luck. A change in luck in August. It feels like the Wheel of Fortune energy here. A change in luck or having luck. It feels positive here. And that is because we're moving things around. With the fan talks about, I always think of it as like converting energy. And I always think of you know, the fan dispersing or moving around the air, getting things going again, then getting things flowing. If they were stale, we're moving things around, we're changing things up. It's almost like you're either getting something off the ground or reinvigorating the interest or excitement around something. And I feel like that's connected to our bottle, because our bottle, it could be talking about babies and stuff, but I feel like in this particular case, it represents new life. So breathing new life or reinvigorating new life into something that you've either started before or something new. It does suggest something new with the bottle. Babies are new. But it could also be just talking about a renewed interest in something and starting something new or restarting something. So end of summer, and luck is changing. So if this is something that you've done before in the past, maybe it didn't work out the way you thought it was going to, or maybe there was some failure there, and it could also be talking about some sort of a love relationship or connection there. So it could be talking about a past love coming back, maybe restarting that, and, you know, maybe a positive alignment here with the 4-leaf clover. Maybe luck is on your side this time, if there were maybe some just disheartening or troubling sort of situations that happened to pop off that were unfortunate, but it wasn't necessarily like the relationship itself, but it was more like the circumstances around the relationship. It could be, you know, some renewed energy here with that, or it could be talking about something completely different for others of you, talking about work, because that's our unseen energy here with the 7 of Pentacles. That there is some sort of work-related, business-related, job-related sort of energy present in the reading as well. In the unseen, so something we're not really paying attention to, but potentially our luck is changing here, and we're moving things around, and maybe even starting a new position at work, or starting a new job, or something like that. So lots of potential messages in here that we're getting going here. And then in September, we have our umbrella. So our umbrella right here talks about preparation for the storm, right? It's not necessarily saying that the storm is coming, but the umbrella is talking about preparation, like you're ready for whatever might happen, right? We carry our umbrellas with us, or we keep them in the car just in case it rains. It doesn't mean that it's going to rain, but I feel like this sense of being prepared, being ready for anything that's coming your way, especially if you're like starting something up here. I feel like September then is about preparation and getting ready for whatever might come up. October and November, we have treasure and make, as well as the 4 of Swords. Okay, so our 4 of Swords is talking about rest, and we have treasure, and we have making. So I feel like there is a need for balance here with resting, especially your mind space, treasuring your rest and your time and energy with the, you know, with this Big Ben, the Tower energy being really close, that clock energy being close this month. I feel like it's like treasuring your time, using some of that time to rest and relax, enjoy yourself, make some things, keep your hands busy and your mind quiet. That sort of energy here in October and November. I feel like it's just a place of relaxation, really. Over these 2 months, like, allow yourself to enjoy, to embrace, to lean into those last, you know, October and November, those 2 months, as we transition from fall into winter. I feel like it's possible that something you treasure could be either made or come to fruition or into your life around that time as well. Okay. All right. Well, there's a lot happening in the beginning of the year, over the summer, and then that transition into winter from fall. I'm just looking here to see if let me pull this a little closer to myself. Here, let's see. actually not a bad idea too. Being able to have these, have it closer to me. Oh, we had some charms fall out. I don't count those. I don't count charms that fall out. I'm just thinking if there's any additional messages here. Let's see. Imagine. Okay, really. I think we're going to go ahead and shuffle out our tarot and see what kind of final messages that Spirit has to share. If any, it's kind of just giving Spirit an additional opportunity to share any kind of last minute messages before we flip over our culminating energy for the year, okay? So, go ahead and shuffle. See if we get any triangulation. Often I've been finding, so we had the Five of Swords flip out. Been finding some triangulation in this. Any last minute messages for group number 3? Any final last minute messages, clarifications, encouragements? Okay. Ooh, okay. High Priestess energy, Queen of Pentacles. All right. 2 Queen energies. Now let me put these. I can get these up here for you guys to see. Even on the edge. Okay. All right, so we have the Five of Swords. I was looking to see if we had any other. We had the Five of Pentacles. That's what we had. Okay. So with the Five of Swords here, it is suggesting that there could potentially be some mental warfare going on. Some arguments, getting into some disagreements, especially verbal spars with people. Almost like a battle of wills as well. And that could be referring to the toxicity of that anchor with the skull bones and the cross bones and the skull and crossbones. That was in the focus there. So I feel like this is a message here and an encouragement for you to be mindful of how you're talking to people in communication, which is what our parrot suggested as well. Being mindful of how you're using your words and your thoughts. So what you're saying to yourself, what you're saying to others, because that energy will be parroted back to you. Avoiding conflicts. You know, it feels like in this energy that this, you know, the primary character, which I feel like is kind of like you or us, is feeling like they triumphed, right? They feel like they've won. Their opponents are all sad and crying and laid down their swords. So it feels like there's some victory here. But I think there's a message here saying that when you cut people down, nobody wins. Like there's not really a victory, because again, with that parrot energy, that energy is eventually going to come back to you and it's going to be parroted back to you. And that is not how we resolve conflicts in a positive way. There's a positive, more mature way to handle the conflicts. And that's really what our Queen and King energy is talking about. We have the High Priestess energy, which is talking about that inwardly strong energy. It is suggesting some like hidden, unseen type of messages going on inside of yourself. I feel like it's encouraging you to do a deep dive inside, especially if you find yourself being aggressive, especially verbally and or mentally aggressive in 2021. There's an encouragement for you to look inside and do some inner analysis to determine what is the root, what is the cause of this aggression, okay? So just an encouragement in general to be mindful of your inner world and your spiritual world. I feel like there is also here in the High Priestess energy a sort of an encouragement for you to connect spiritually. So there is a lot of fire energy presence in the reading with the King and the Queen of Wands present in the focus energy, that Fool energy, which talks about adventure and, you know, there's a very freedom, like infinite possibilities and sort of a freedom aspect to that. But I feel like the High Priestess and even the Queen of Pentacles is encouraging you to embrace your divine feminine energy, embrace your inward strength as well, and be mindful and nurturing of your inner world, not just the outer world. With that upside down clamshell here, let's see if I can turn this without spilling the cards out. You know, the upside down clamshell here talks about being emotionally unavailable. And I feel like there's an encouragement here with the High Priestess energy and the Queen of Pentacles energy to do not discredit your divine feminine inwardly strong energy, to make sure that you're not closing yourself off and depending too much on that fire energy, especially if you have strong fire sign placements and you're prone to doing that. I feel like, again, if you have strong fire sign placements in your chart and you're vibing with the King or the Queen of Wands energy, that there's a message here and almost a little bit of a warning to not be do not be overly aggressive. And because you know that fire energy, that Wands energy can be very spontaneous and reckless as well. Like fire heats us up and keeps us warm, but it can also burn us, just like a sword can both defend and offend, so harm us as well. So just being mindful of your masculine energy and making sure that it is balanced out with your divine feminine. Like your divine masculine, divine feminine energies are balanced out, okay? And I feel like that's also what our Queen of Pentacles is saying in relationship as well to the Queen of Wands, right? So we have fire and we have earth. Earth tempers fire, and fire heats up earth, warms earth, brings some warmth to earth. So I feel like there's going to be a collaboration and a combination of nurturing your creativity in a more grounded way. And again, it's that balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine energies there with the fire and the earth energy. What other messages are we getting here? I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is also encouraging you to be mindful of your health and well-being as well. So our Wands energy, you know, they're out there, right? It's that divine masculine, outwardly expressive energy that's just being creative and out doing the things, expending, like using up lots of energy. And it's not sustainable. The Wands energy is not, that fire energy and air energy is not sustainable. The masculine energy needs to fold back into the feminine energy to be restored, to be nourished, to be replenished. You know, that's really, to me, the balance. There's going to be a collaboration here between the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands is what I'm seeing here. I think understanding that sustainability aspect is going to be really important for you as well. And I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is also encouraging you to take your time. Everything doesn't have to happen so quickly. Queen of Wands, especially if you're connecting with the Queen of Wands, I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is here to just say everything doesn't have to happen right away. You know, good things come to those who are patient, who are steady, steadfast. I feel like our Queen of Pentacles energy could also be connected to the Capricorn energy presence. So there could be a person with strong Earth placements in general, but specifically Capricorn placements in their birth chart, Sun and Rising Venus, that could be coming into your life as some sort of a mentor or have some sort of connection. This could represent also a mother or a sister or a friend or somebody who is potentially older than you, or just potentially more grounded and more solid in their queenly pentacle-y realm here, to encourage you to be more balanced. So be mindful of that energy. All right, so there are tons of extra messages that Spirit had for you. I'm glad we were able to pull some tarot for you. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do our final culminating energy here with our Tao. So the final culminating energy for you for 2021 predictions is resoluteness, determination, no compromises, unwavering focus, inner resolve, integrity, a test of character, and self-examination. So I always like to look at these two energies together. Influence and resoluteness. I think it's interesting that both of these cards have the lake energy. So that suggests a divine feminine energy. I feel like that's talking about like intuition, and also like not being afraid to go deep too. I also feel like it's like, in order to attract this divine counterpart, this connection, there is a need to look inside yourself and resolve some inner things. And I feel like that's connected to our shells, our upside down shell as well. Making sure that you're in the right space to be attracting the type of love that you want. You could attract lust, you can attract passion, and if that's what you want, awesome, you know, do you, boo, ain't nobody judging you over here. But I feel like if there is something more, like if you want a more balanced, like holistic type of love connection that has elements of the passion as well as the emotive and the emotional peace and the spiritual balance and harmony, that there's going to be a need for you to do some inner work, okay? And I feel like this is also talking about, as we're discerning the partner, whoever this person is that we are courting or is courting us, that we are in courtship with, to make sure that you're not getting lost in the lovey-dovey, right? There is a seriousness, an intensity to the face, you know, this figure's facial expression. It's a determined energy, and understanding that like dating and finding a partner, finding a love connection is a test of character. You are making a determination whether or not this person is going to be a positive influence in your life or not, okay? So don't get too lost in the lovey-dovey and the magic of it all, and become complacent. Make sure that you're analyzing, you're digging into it, as well as yourself as well, and examining your own heart space, okay? So the number 43 does reduce down to the number 7, which our number 7 is all about the deepness, the wisdom, you know, there's connections to the universe in there. There is a spiritual suggestion or connotation to the number 7, but it's more like spirituality through analysis and understanding, through wisdom, deep knowledge, deep knowing, okay? So don't be afraid to dig deep. It's not saying that you're picking somebody apart, but it's just that you're seeing them who they are, and you're not being fooled by the, you know, like the infatuation, if you will, of love and attraction. And our number 31 reduces down to the number 4. So I do feel like there's a very groundedness. There's a very solid base to this connection. Again, if the love message is vibing for you. But just making sure that there's an honesty and openness and a combination of both, you know, love, emotions, and the mind, and you're just not eluded into thinking that things are a certain way and they are not. Okay, that was a lot of talking for me. I hope that these messages, this was a pretty deep dive into 2021, and I hope that these messages help you navigate through the year. Keep in mind that this is the energy, we cast this energy in current, you know, in the current space and place and time. That if there are things that you do not like, or even things that you do like, there's still going to be decisions and work and effort put into either seeing those things come to fruition or maybe changing some of the things that you aren't liking right now. So this is current energy. The world is your oyster. You can make it anything that you want. Now that you're aware of these different things, you can be mindful of them and you can make some tweaks and changes as we go through 2021. So I certainly hope that these messages were helpful for you. If something did resonate, make sure to drop a comment down below and let me know. Also, let me know if some of the charms hit with you a little bit differently, or if some of them really pulled you toward them. Let me know that as well. Any additional messages that you received, maybe specifically for you in the charms. If you're not already a part of the Kindred family here on YouTube, make sure to click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Connect with me on Instagram and TikTok, and check out my Etsy shop if you're interested in a personal reading or any of the other spiritual content that I create for you on your journey. So thank you so much, beautiful soul, for your time and your energy today, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye.